What's up, guys? Welcome. You are live. I am live. We're here. We're gonna go through "I Know a Name" by Elevation Worship and Brandon Lake. I think they dropped the song maybe a month ago before recording of this. So if you guys are tuning in after the fact, I'm gonna link up all of the timestamps of all the different song sections that I'm gonna go over. So this is gonna be a longer video, but you'll be able to hop around and stuff. So. Also, I wanted to mention, too, that I'll be playing through the tabs as well that I created for all these guitar parts that I'm going to go over in the original key. And the links to those tabs are going to be down below in the description if you want to follow along and see all of that stuff. Also, for the tones and things like that, I'll break that down for you. But if you have any of the Line 6 units, the HXFX, HX Stomp, Helix, Pod Go, I have the Elevation bundle. I'm actually going to be playing through the House of Miracles preset for this one. There's like 13 patches in there at this point, and a lot of them kind of have some overlap between all the different ranges of tones that you can get for Elevation. So we'll see what this sounds like. This is kind of the clean sound. Okay. Typical worship Elevation, lots of reverb. There's a little bit of 70s chorus that I have on there. Just a tiny bit. So, also we're going to be in the key of C, and we're actually in a mode. If you guys have ever heard of modes, it is a little bit more of an intermediate, advanced type of music theory. But basically what a mode is you're shifting around the scale just by a little bit. And so this is in C Mixolydian. And basically what that means is, I'm going to switch cameras here. 1 second. There we go. Basically what that means for C Mixolydian is the 7th letter scale degree is flat. So let me show you the C major. So that's just a normal major scale. The 7th note is flat. So you get... So it's still major, but the flat note. And so that's that melody that you hear. So it's major, but it sounds kind of off. So that's where we get the Mixolydian mode. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive right into the different guitar parts for you guys. So the intro and the chorus have a similar part, and it sounds like this. Again. Okay, so that first thing is just a C major diamond, what we call it. Lasts for a full measure and a half. We're also in 6/8, by the way. And then what we're going to do is a hammer-on from the 2nd to the 3rd fret on the D string, and then play the open G string. Then we'll land on the 1st fret A string. This is your B flat chord. And then play the 3rd fret D string. So. Okay. And then just shift that shape down a string. So we go to the 1st fret E string, 3rd fret A string. That's your F chord. And then 1st fret A string, open D string. And then back to the 1st fret, low E string. So that's kind of like your main theme here. And then the piano is kind of doing that melody that I was showing you. We'll get to that later towards the bridge. But for verse 2, there's like a dotted eighth delay type of slapback thing going on that's kind of buried. Some of these tones are buried in the mix, but feel free to pick whichever parts you want to do, because some of these are really cool. I think it's the bridge pickup. Let me get the timing of that real quick. Oh yeah, it's right there. By the way, where I'm referencing is actually the Guitar Pro 7 file that I have. I think you can upgrade it to the 8th or whatever. It works for the 8th. But I actually have the interactive tabs below in the description for you. And so you can actually hear it back, like how the track is supposed to sound. If you're not, really into reading the music side of things, you can actually hear it, play along to it, and even slow it down if you need to speed yourself up there. So yeah, so it's very dotted eighth-like. The BPM we're running with is 86 BPM, and it's a pretty heavy dotted eighth delay mix. I have it at 35% mix, and if I were to take that off, the picking rhythm sounds like this. So it's like a really basic part. I'm doing all downstrokes here. Then you add the delays. So I'll show you the actual notes there. So it's the 5th fret D and G string. And then you're actually going to hammer on pull off from the 3rd fret D string to the 5th fret. Then you'll shift that shape down on the 3rd fret. 3rd fret D and G. And then this is happening on the G string now, so it's the 2nd to 3rd fret G string. And then lastly, you'll keep your ring finger on the 3rd fret D string, and then hammer on from the open G string to the 2nd fret. So that's what's happening for verse 2, something you could play there. And then one thing you could play during the chorus, they're like kind of these mid-range like diamonds that you can play. Sounds like this. Okay, so it's going to be the 5th fret G string, and then barring the 8th fret B and E strings. That's your C chord. And then you'll play like a D triad shape here. It's like a D sus. So it's going to be the 5th fret G string, 6th fret B string, and E string. Then you'll resolve your pinky to the 5th fret. And then go back up. Simple, just some different chord shapes you can do for the chorus. And now let's go to the bridge. And so there are a couple different parts you can play for the bridge. Let's see what I've got here. Bridge 1, there's the refrain 1, and then bridge 2, refrain 2, refrain 1. So there's some different things you can play depending on what you're comfortable with, what you want to play. So for bridge 1, this is the part. So it's pretty simple. It's all 16th notes, and we're playing octaves here, which means that we're playing the 3rd fret A string, playing C and C, the high octave, on the 5th fret G string. So it's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You can add a little swing to it. It's kind of cool. And then we're just adding the 4th fret low E string. Adds a little bit of tension there. So you're playing 3 measures of just the C octave there, and then the last measure, you're adding the 4th fret low E string. So it's kind of a cool part there. And then the refrain is something that we would call like the refrain or breakdown. It's kind of where the band dives down a little bit, and this is where the guitar will play the lead line here. So I'm going to go over that. Okay, so that's the 5th fret B string to 6th fret, then to the 8th fret, and then 8th fret E string, and you kind of walk the shape down. So it's 8th fret E string to the 6th fret to the 5th fret, and then 8, 6, 5 on the B string. So that's kind of that breakdown part, and then bridge 2 goes like this. That's kind of a cool part. Get rid of that delay. So a lot of this is going to be on the D string and B string with an open G string. So your first shape is kind of the middle to top end of your just a normal C chord. So it's 2nd fret D string and 1st fret B string. And then you're going to add your ring finger and your pinky to the 3rd fret D and B string. You're just going to kind of walk up the scale. You'll just shift that shape up to the 5th fret. And here's where it kind of gets tricky. You're going to move your pinky to the 5th fret on the G string, and then 1st finger on the 3rd fret B string. So basically you're playing the top end of like a C2 chord or a C9 chord. So and then just move that shape down. Resolve to an F chord on the 2nd fret G string. And then open that G string. And then just speed it up. Okay? So that's bridge 2. Then we have another refrain. It's bigger, and we're gonna add some sauce to it. Okay, so let me get this straight again. Yeah. So we're back to the octaves thing again, only we're gonna move the shape around. So I'm gonna call this out in reference to the A string. So again, an octave is you have your A string and G string 2 frets apart, and then you're also going to leave a string in between. Once you kind of figure that out, all you got to do is move the shape around. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret A string and go up the scale. So that's going to be the 5th fret to the 7th fret. Then go way up to the 10th fret, and then shift down to the 8th fret. and then resolve on the 7th fret. So in context, it's... So that's how that goes, and you'll loop that however many times you need to. And then the last thing I was going to go over was another thing you can do during the refrains where the dynamics are bigger. And so let me add just a little bit of delay. Okay. Sounds like this. Get rid of some delay here so I can go over that. So this is like a C power chord. This is like one of the what I would consider like mid-range power chords that you can do that's not low. So basically it's just your root note, your root 5, and your root note at the top octaves. So we're playing a C chord to start, and we're doing all 16th notes here. So it goes. So what you're going to do is you're going to move your ring finger down to the 10th fret on the G string. So we'll do that twice, and then you'll just shift that shape down 2 frets to the 8th fret, starting on the 8th fret. But this time you're going to be playing around with the pinky going down 1 fret. And then you'll shift to single notes here. So those notes are the 11th fret to 10th fret B string down to the 8th fret. And then the 10th fret G string. And then you're back up to the beginning again. So. So that is the tutorial for I Know a Name, Elevation Worship, and Brandon Lake collabing. Man, these guys collab all the time. So, yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, the tabs are down below. If you want to pick up this tone again, it's the House of Miracle patch, and I'll leave that down below as well if you have any of the Line 6 units. But let me know in the comments which song I should do a tutorial for next. I'm always looking for more songs, and let me know if you have any questions. If not, we'll see you guys in the next video.